Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 264, Divisional Chaos, part 2. I'm Nick, and we have Harrison tonight. How are we doing, Harrison?
Chaos the remix. I like it. I am
Yeah.
fantastic, Nick. How are you?
Pretty good. A lot of crazy baseball going on. We got a barn burner right here with the Dodgers and Phillies, so we'll be live watching that and reacting. And then we got Cubs and Brewers starting up here real quick. So we'll be checking in on that game as well. So we have a lot to talk about from this past weekend. Or week. Is it week? Weekend? I don't even know what day it is anymore.
It's partial week.
Okay. Either way, the last few days.
Over the last few days, yes. Let's go with that.
Good. Oh my goodness. All right. Before we get started, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors. We have a new one. We have Logitech, MLB Shop, and Lids. So you can find these links at the tops of all of our socials. So if you do any shopping through these companies or get any of these products, please do it through our links as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show.
Yeah, for all you folks saying Logitech, that makes no sense. I mean, I'm coming to you with a Logitech camera, a Logitech keyboard, Logitech mouse. So they are very much the technology that powers most of what I do.
Absolutely. And probably me here coming up because I'm due for an upgrade. So,
yeah.
All right. We also have our Rounding Third merch. If you search Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy, we have t-shirts, sweatshirts, tumblers, a whole bunch of stuff on there. Just another great way to support us and to get our name out there. And we know you would look great in some Rounding Third merch. So give that a look. And we also have Patreon. So we're starting to build the small baseball community where we will do live watch parties and we will have exclusive merch in there. And it's just a great way to discuss baseball all the time in a small, condensed little audience. So check us out there. Great way to support us there as well. So check us out on Patreon. All right. We're just going to jump right in here. We're going to start going over the games from this past week. We got Phillies and Dodgers going on right now. It's 1-1. So let's dive into that. But before we do have a question already. Who do you think will win the World Series? So, I mean, we've talked about this a little bit the last few shows. What are your thoughts, Harrison? Has anything changed for you?
I mean, my pick was the Phillies. I thought it was going to be Phillies, Blue Jays, Phillies win. The Phillies have really disappointed me with their performance to this point. They finally woke up last night. And today they've managed one run again. Thankfully, their pitching was outstanding, and Glasnow was good. No, not taking anything away from him, but I really like the Phillies. I really liked the Phillies. I really don't think they've got the juice to do it because they just their big boppers just continue to struggle. They need to. Obviously, they have to win tonight, but I don't know that I trust this team in a Game 5 to come back and win. So I'm waffling a little bit there. I may default back to my AL pick of the Blue Jays.
Yeah, so I believe I had Blue Jays and Phillies in the World. No, I had Seattle and Phillies in the World Series, and Seattle winning it. I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. That's a big one for me. But if I had to go on what I've seen so far, I think the Blue Jays come out of the AL, and I think the Dodgers come out of the NL. I mean, it seems like they have found a fit putting Roki Sasaki there in the back end of that bullpen, and he can stretch it out and give them some innings if they need to, and an extra inning like this. So the Dodgers somehow, with all their bullpen problems, have somehow ironed them all out in the last week, which is crazy. But that's what the Dodgers do in the postseason. They know how to win. I love what the Brewers are. I love what they're putting on the field. I just don't know how much trust I have in them to get past the playoff round. I mean, they still have to dethrone the Cubs here. The Cubs aren't out of this. So I don't know. We'll see what happens tonight. Maybe they do move on. I'm pulling for them. I want the Brewers to. But right now, if I'm looking at these teams, I think I might lean Blue Jays Dodgers World Series is what I think I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, and I don't hate that pick. I mean, I think I don't think the Cubs are out of it. They've obviously got a long road to go. I think the Brewers will close them out, though. Um, Brewers Dodgers, that'll be an interesting series. Low payroll, huge payroll, very different styles of baseball. And I will say, as much as the Phillies offense has sucked, they did explode pretty much all off of Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw just continues to stink in the playoffs. He is terrible in the postseason. And he was out there, I think, to chew up some innings, to preserve some arms. And I think he was a little bit of a sacrificial lamb in that case. So maybe it's not entirely his fault. As we said all along, all of his postseason struggles are not entirely his fault. But he was terrible. The Phillies pounced on him. But other than him, they've really hit nobody else.
No.
They really haven't.
No. All right, so let's dive into the games this past week. We got game 2. The Phillies weren't hitting at all, but they fight back, and they had a situation that could have tied the game, taken the lead. They just couldn't quite get there. They fall short. They lose 4-3, and all of all of the Phillies hitters had completely disappeared the first 2 games. I mean, you looked at their big boppers, they were like 1 for 20, 1 for 18. Like the last few games of the Phillies hitters just were not great. So, and then game 3, we kind of turn it around here. Schwarber hits that absolute moonshot that almost leaves Dodger Stadium. And then, like you said earlier, Harrison, Kershaw just kind of trying to eat some outs there, gets absolutely shellacked. Schwarber homers again there. Real Muto homers. And I said in a text last night, I go, putting Kershaw in and the Phillies getting essentially what looked like batting practice, this could possibly wake them up. But however, Glasnow just absolutely destroyed that tonight and said, yeah, I don't think so, guys. You're not hitting. So
yeah, I mean, Sanchez and Glasnow are both great tonight. That was like a traditional pitcher's duel.
Yep. And Sanchez is a beast. And Glasnow is a beast when healthy, man. That's always been a knock on him. He misses too much time. So Dodgers lead the series. They could close it out tonight. And remember, there's no ghost runner in the postseason, so we're just full on baseball right now. Alex Vesia is in for the Dodgers. How do you see this panning out tonight, Harrison?
I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in the Phillies. I think the Dodgers walk off on them and move on. I think on the other side of it, I could see the Brewers finishing off the Cubs tonight. You've got Boyd going again. The Cubs imploded last time Boyd pitched. So I think you could see both NL teams close out tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the extra inning obviously favors the home team here. And the Phillies just aren't hitting. And that's their biggest thing. And this is the 3rd, 4th postseason in a row where they just can't get over that hump. They are turning into the Milwaukee Brewers, where they can't get past a playoff round. And if they do, they don't get past the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same story with these Phillies teams. They come in with all this hype, Red October, and this is our year, and then their offense disappears. Trey Turner, terrible. Schwarber, terrible. Harper, terrible. Just terrible off seasons or terrible postseasons, and they've been terrible for 2 years in a row now. These I mean, and Phillies fans are losing their minds in the Facebook groups, and choke artists, get rid of them, move on, blow it up. I mean, Phillies fans are fed up with this team because they are just a bunch of postseason chokers.
As they should be. I mean, listen, like, you have Dave Dombrowski in that seat, and he is known for spending cash, getting the team there, and getting them to the World Series and winning, right? Like, he does that. And he hasn't gotten this team there yet. So do the Phillies tear it down and start over?
I mean, you've signed some big. I mean, you're in the same boat as the Padres. You've committed some big contracts to a few guys that are going to be very hard to move. You have to figure that out. You have to take what you've got because you've got no moves. You have basically set yourselves on a certain path that you can't get off of, and you got to figure out how to build around it. Harper, not the guy. Schwarber, not the guy. Trey Turner, not the guy. JT Realmuto, not the guy. Like they're just not. These are not the guys that are going to get you there. Now, maybe some combination of a couple of those guys with other pieces would get you there, but this group has consistently disappointed when it mattered, and they've
Yeah.
consistently underperformed and not shown up. And I don't know what you do with that.
I don't know either. I mean, obviously Harper and Turner are there to stay because they're the big contract guys. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure a team would make a deal for them, but I don't know. But you have a lot of moving pieces this offseason. You have Schwarber that, comes off the books. He's a free agent. From all the rumors like Castellanos, Bohm, they want to move all those pieces. So maybe you do keep the core of Harper and Turner and try to keep this pitching staff intact and go from there. I mean, Sanchez isn't going anywhere. Luzardo was a beast for them this year. I mean, they have the pitching to get them where they need to go, but this offense just does not show up in October. And then we bring this up. Are the first round buys an issue for the Philadelphia Phillies?
I mean, for the Phillies, yeah, I think it's definitely an issue. But at the same time, it's. I would say if they were better in the postseason in past years, I'd say maybe that's what this is. But this is a team that has consistently not performed, and I don't think you can give them the out of, well, they got a break and it didn't work for them. These guys just don't play well in the postseason. They just don't. And Kyle Schwarber was a guy who always seemed to come up with big hits, and he did for a night.
Right.
But otherwise, I mean, Bryce Harper, 3 for 15, hitting 200 this postseason, 0 RBIs. He hasn't driven a run in.
Well, no one's been on base in front of him.
Right. He hasn't driven a run in. Trey Turner's hitting 235 with 4 hits, 3 RBIs, 2 stolen bases. OBP of 316. Okay numbers. Not great, but okay. Schwarber, when you take that one game out, has done nothing. Yeah. These guys just don't put up.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on this. They are in the top of the 11th. There's 2 outs. Alec Boehm just flew out to the warning track. Great play by Pajes going back, making the catch. So,
and in this inning, you've had Schwarber and Harper both come to the plate.
Yeah, Harper walked, so he's on first with 2 outs.
Yep.
But it's going to be a tough climb for the Phillies here. So, Bruce Bochy to Philly next season.
Huh.
I mean, do you think they get rid of Rob Thompson if they don't get out of this postseason? Like, and if they're blowing it all up, is that a possibility?
I mean, if you ask Phillies fans, they want him gone. But I don't know if the organization moves on from him or not. I know that Dave Dombrowski's getting impatient because they've made a lot of moves to try to get to this point where they can, be in the playoffs and make a deep run, and they consistently can't do it. I don't know that he goes, but if he does, my gut says he probably does go. But whether that's fair to him or not is a debate for another day. But Bruce Bochy to Philly would be great. I just don't think Bruce Bochy is going to go there.
Yeah.
Bruce Bochy likes the West Coast. He likes the western half of the country, and he's already even talked to Buster Posey about the Giants.
Yeah. So, if by some miracle the Phils beat LA, Milwaukee will take them down, and I agree with that. The Brewers are a put it and play team. We'll get to them in a minute, but Bruce to the Yankees, Aaron Boone to Texas next season. We can play with the managers at the end of the show because that's an interesting one. But we'll come back to that at the end of the show. Let's push that one off a little bit.
Yeah, we all know that Aaron Judge is going to manage in New York forever. I mean,
you mean Aaron Boone?
Aaron Boone's going to manage in New York forever. He's not going anywhere. They're going to let him stay there basically forever because Hal Steinbrenner won't make the move.
Brutal.
Cashman will still be the GM in 20 years trying to build
Yeah.
fantasy rosters.
Yep. All right. We'll get to Cubs and Brewers. So game 2 was the complete polar opposite win for the Brewers. So game 1, they go out, they score 9 runs in the first 2 innings with not a single ball leaving the ballpark. They were just spraying it everywhere. Game 2, different story. They get to Imanaga and they score all 7 runs off 3 home runs. So Vaughn, Contreras, and Churio. Churio's playing with a pulled hammy, and he hit an absolute bomb to straightaway center, crushed it. And then the Miz out of the bullpen came in and just put the Cubs away. So Brewers are doing it in multiple ways. They're beating you with a long ball. They're beating you by base hitting you to death. This is a very well-rounded team, and they are scary. How are you feeling about this series right now?
I mean, game 1, the Cubs threw away 400 runs in the first inning, and that was just became a runaway train. That was Boyd starting like he is tonight, so we'll see how they recover from that. Game 2 was again Imanaga, who you thought, okay, like he's going to get us right, got absolutely obliterated. You do finally win game 3 in a tight one that honestly the Cubs tried to give away. I mean, I think I would not be surprised if the Cubs are done tonight because they can't seem to get out of their own ways. And I think that you've got to look at that team and, same as the other teams and just say, okay, what was the missing piece? I know that Justin Steele not being there makes a huge difference.
Big.
But what was the missing piece? Your big batters didn't perform in the playoffs. Kyle Tucker's been kind of a non-factor. What are you going to do going into next year? Because another team that really looked like they should have been just vicious in the playoffs, and they've been it's been a pretty weak performance.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Busch is probably their only bright spot, I would say, right now.
That dude's been tearing the cover off the ball.
Yeah, I mean, the last month and a half he has. But I felt the Brewers had a chance to take over that game late. They had bases loaded in the 8th, and they just couldn't quite break through. And the Cubs go on to win to to push to a game 4 tonight, which is on right now. But
you want something really sad,
crazy.
Nick? So Michael Busch is hitting 286 with 3 home runs and 3 RBIs.
Yep.
Because he is constantly up. He's either leading off innings or batting with the bases empty.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
Go Tigers. That is all.
Yeah.
Love that.
I mean, the Tigers, it was not looking good for them, and now all of a sudden it is.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll get to them right now. So, all right. So Seattle game 3, Mariners just absolutely just took them to the cleaners in game 3. I mean, they were just destroying Comerica Ballpark. It was Raleigh, it was Suarez, it was Crawford, it was the entire lineup. And I go, here we go. Mariners lineup is hitting. They found it. And then game 4, it just all flips on its head and in a hurry. Like Mariners jump out early to 3-0 lead, and then the Tigers rally back. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Did Wilson overmanage this game? Now, I was talking to one of our followers, one of our loyal followers, John Temple, about this because we were dealing. Our starting pitcher was dealing for the Mariners, and he gives up 1 double in the 3rd, I think, maybe earlier in the 4th. And they just, boom, hook, you're done. So I'm going to bring Wilson in under the spotlight here and just managers in general in the playoffs. Because did Wilson overmanage this particular situation? And then we'll talk about the other managers after this.
I think in this game, yes. I did think he did overmanage. I think he went to the bullpen too early. I think he probably made too many tinkering and too many moves. And I think you had a good thing going. You're up 3-0, you had some momentum building, and then he started changing things. And then it just kind of all fell apart. I think there is, and we can talk about the other examples, but I think there are situations where the managers need to go in there and move things around to get things going. There's also times the managers have to get out of the way of the momentum. If it is working and things are going the way they should be going, sometimes not doing anything is the right thing to do.
Right.
And I think Dan Wilson thought like he needed to go in like there and like push this a little harder. Well, you had a good thing going. Leaving it alone might have been the best option.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hate the fact that analytics has taken over the postseason because none of these managers, zero, have any feel to me of the game. And as a fan sitting at home, you can say what you want. Maybe I don't have feel for what's going on the field, but my guy's dealing. Yeah, he gave up one hit. Guess what? It's baseball. That happens. You still have a 3-run cushion. So if he goes in, walks the next guy, then gives up a hit, yeah, go get the hook, bring him out. But that's a feel situation for me, and you got to let him ride. Right? There's just I don't understand I keep joking about it. Like a batter fouls 2 balls off, and it's like, oh, let's go to the bullpen. Like, to me, I just don't understand this in the playoffs. The quick hook, and it's with teams that don't even necessarily have a bullpen. Now, the Mariners do. The Mariners have a great bullpen, and maybe that's what he was relying on. Okay, maybe I can get that. But there's other managers that don't. Like you said, they just go in and they just change it because that's what the analytics say, but they have no feel for what's going on the baseball field in the moment. And I get the postseason can unravel in a hurry. You are one Jazz Chisholm boot away from losing the series, right? And we'll get to that in a minute. But I mean, so I get that. But and this is it, John. He played like they were down in the series. And I get you probably want to take care of the Tigers right there and then because you know who's coming in game 5. And I hate to say it, I don't know if you can beat Skubal 4 times in a year. I'm a little worried.
I didn't think you could beat him 3 times in a year, but here we are.
Fair. That's absolutely fair. But
and honestly, as we all know, game 5 is usually just an utter crapshoot.
Mm-hmm. So, who are you taking here? Game 5 tomorrow night.
Oh, game 5 tomorrow night. I'm still going to take the Mariners. I still think it's the Mariners season. I think that the Tigers scare me in a game 5 because they have the ability to just come out and rake with no warning. I think Skubal is going to he's going to look like he did in game 1. He's going to come out pissed off and ready to do battle. Game 1 against the Guardians, where he came out and just like single-handedly took that team down.
Yep.
I think you're going to see that Skubal, who's going to be pitching pissed off. I still like the Mariners, but the Tigers really scare me in a game 5.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the team that makes the first mistake. You make the first mistake, I think it's over. And John, this is what I was talking about. I mean, Miller was shoving it down the Tigers' throat for the first 3 innings, and then he gives up 1 double, and it's like panic button. So yeah, it's crazy.
Well, it was absolutely a panic response. It was, we got a lead, and I'm afraid we're going to lose it, so I'm going to go make a move, rather than letting it play out. And we saw that from Alex Cora in game 2. Alex Cora cost the Red Sox game 2, combined with the Jarren Duran drop. But they shouldn't have been in that spot if he had not overmanaged that game. We saw the Blue Jays overmanage a game and hurt themselves. They had a couple guys come in and pinch hit, and they made some defensive mistakes, and with guys they put in place, and they had things get away from them there. Like, we've seen a lot of managers. We've seen a lot of overmanaging so far in the playoffs this year. And I think it's because you do have some managers who don't have a ton of postseason experience, like Schneider in Toronto. And I think you've got a guy like Dan Wilson, who, for all of his years of play, he's still a new manager, and this is a different environment than he's used to. And also, it's a team that has very much changed a lot in the last couple of years, or last couple of months, as they've made changes. So I just think he got in over his head and panicked and thought he had to make a move when he didn't.
Yeah. Oh, Joseph saw Scooble in person in Cleveland for game one. That must have been crazy because he was just shoving. That's
And on
nuts.
and honestly, if not for the errors the Guardians made, Scooble probably would have lost that game because he got diddly for support.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, this is a fair point, John. Is it overmanaging when you make the right call but the players mess it up? Yeah, I mean, there are some times where you can make all the right moves and it just doesn't work out. Guys don't execute. The hard part is, with that logic, then really, what is a manager ever responsible? Because the players got to play. Um, and we heard a press conference from the Washington Nationals earlier this year that had a similar tone to it, where it was, "Hey, it's not really the manager's fault. Guys got to go out and do their thing," which is true. The manager's job is to put guys in the right position. They still have to go out and execute. So, yeah, I think there's situations where things just don't work out because, that's like the Jazz Chisholm era the other night. That's not Aaron Boone's fault. Jazz Chisholm's got to make the play.
Yeah.
But
I think when I say quote unquote over managing, I think for me it's the quick trigger. It's the panic button in the third inning, like, oh my god, he gave up a hit. Like bullpen, here we come. Like to me that's over managing. That's not putting players in the correct position, because how often do these guys come in the third inning? Oh, Cubs are up 3-0 already. Damn.
yeah, that was a
I didn't
quick.
see that.
They ambushed him.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah. So that's what I mean by like over managing, is just the overall, like, base hit happens, it's panic button. Another hit happens, next guy in. Like that's what I mean by that. Like I get playing matchups, I get playing, pinch hitting a hitter late in the game against a lefty reliever. Like I get all that. Like that makes sense to me. But the starters giving up like one hit and hitting the panic button, to me, is over managing. But
Yes, I think the I think the Dan Wilson situation was over managing. Everything was going right. Things working the way you wanted them to. It literally was one hit. It wasn't like you all said the bases loaded and you're panicked about one hit tying the game. You were not at the point where the tying run was even at the plate at that point. It's
right.
way too early to manage like that in a game. And you asked too much of your bullpen in a game where you had momentum on your side. I
Yeah.
think same with Alex Cora. You took out Brian Bayo after 28 pitches. And
It's crazy.
he wasn't great, but he was finally settling in and his stuff looked good and his location was better. And then you asked too much of the bullpen. The bullpen was great at times and not at other times. It just you just don't want to you don't want to manage in a way where you're managing scared. And that's what Dan Wilson looked like. He was so afraid to give up that lead that he started managing like it was the seventh inning, not the fourth inning.
Yep. 1,000%. So I'm with you. I'm pulling for the Mariners, but I am going to have it's gonna be a dogfight. It really is. And I think it comes down to the team that makes the first mistake, whether that's a fastball left over the middle of the plate or whether that's an error with runners on to give teams extra outs. We've seen it this entire postseason. One error compounds an entire inning, and then all of a sudden you're down 4 runs. So yeah, the Bayo situation is 100% over managing. 1,000% with you.
Yeah, that one's bad.
Yeah.
Well, and here's a great example. So the Cubs are up 3-0. It was a 3-run home run by Ian Happ. But it was, you had a single, and then you walked Kyle Tucker, and then you get Suzuki to K, and then you give up the bomb. It's the extra bat, it's the walk. You just dragged the inning out and you gave them a chance. And in the playoffs, all of that stuff is heightened.
Yep. We got runners on first and third, 2 outs for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 11th. So crazy ending here. They're going to the bullpen. But all right, let's jump over to the Jays and Yankees series. Jays jump out to an early 6-1 lead after 3 innings. The Yankees come storming back, and Judge finally breaks through in the postseason. A 3-run homer off the left field foul pole that I have no idea how he keeps that ball fair. How That ball was 8 inches in off the plate. He gets his hips through, his hands through, the barrel through, and still somehow keeps that fair. I have watched that clip over and over. I have slowed it down. I've sped it up. I've looked at it from every angle. I don't know how he hits that ball like that. Like freak, absolute freak.
No, it defies like physics that there was not enough spin on that ball to hook it foul. I mean, and as I told you, like we were texting back and forth, like holy cow. I was like, just watch how quickly he clears his hands. I mean, that he got his hands out in front and around so fast so that he could almost inside out it, which is what kept it fair. But the fact that he cleared his hands that quickly through that ball and still got the head around on a pitch that was, I think it was closer to a foot inside, is mind-boggling. Like,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to hit that pitch and keep it fair. But holy cow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna eat some words here, and people watching and probably saw my post that before game 3. So this is the disclaimer because I'm still getting roasted for it now. Which, you know what? Fine, give it to me. But I put out a post that had Aaron Judge hitting a bomb and in the regular season, and then a picture of a ghost in the postseason. Remember, released it before game 3 when he was 1 for 12 with runners on base, 1 RBI, and I think it was on like a sac fly. Like, just wasn't hitting with runners on base. And 217 career postseason. That was my overall point, is career postseason, Judge doesn't show up. Game 3, oh, here it comes. Everybody comes back to my post and is just giving it to me. And game 4, he had another outstanding game. So Aaron Judge finally shows up to the postseason, and nobody else does.
Yeah, he showed up too late because everybody else had checked out by then.
Yeah. So Yankees go on to win that one 9-6. And then game 4, I hate to boil it down to one play, but the Jazz Chisholm error was that entire game. He doesn't make that error. It's an inning-ending double play. It's 1-1. Then Judge hits the double to get him that run in the 9th, and Yankees possibly win that game. So I mean, that's a huge, crucial error. But yeah,
it was a massive error. I mean, clearly, but at the same time, I don't know that one play you can necessarily say, well, yeah, that's what doomed them, but it certainly just threw gasoline on a fire that was just kind of starting to burn, and it really got ugly from there. And I was watching some of the clips from the Talking Baseball guys because they're all Yankees fans, and like just the devastation of Yankees fans for that whole sequence is, I mean, brutal what they went through to watch that all just implode like that. But once, one thing led to another, and just the domino effect, that game got away fast.
Yep. I love the story about Lucas, though. This guy is a 31-year-old that spent 10 years in the minor leagues waiting to get his shot, and he finally does. And he made the Yankees pay for that Jazz Chisholm error and lines an incredible base hit right over Volpe's head into the gap to score 2, and then the Blue Jays get one more to make it 4-1, and they win the series. So what do the Yankees do? What do the Yankees do from here?
I mean, I'm going to say, first of all, I'm not sure who game plans for them, who actually creates the game plan for the pitchers, but that person should not return. They just kept throwing the same sequence to Vlad Jr. It was the same sequence of pitches over and over and over again, and he just kept hitting them. There was no variety to what they threw him. It was the same pattern every single at bat. And the dude just kept hitting it, and they just kept throwing it. But it was the same sequence. It was in, out, down, out. It was the same sequence over and over again. And they did not make adjustments. They did not make any changes. They just kept running the same plan out there that didn't work. The Yankees have 2 major holes: shortstop and catcher. The shortstop play was terrible all season from Volpe. And I don't know if that was just an off year for him. I think they still like the kid. He's young. He's cheap. He was born and raised a New York Yankees fan. Um, I think they want him to be like Derek Jeter 2.0, but you can't ignore the fact that he was awful. And then catcher. I don't think you've got your catcher of the future on that roster. I think you need to go find somebody.
Yeah,
and then of course you've got other questions too that'll come of it, which is what happens to Bellinger, and but Judge is now another year older. You're just continuing to waste his prime. You get Garrett Cole back next year. That's going to help. But what is that bullpen? Like, what is that bullpen?
Yeah. For me, the catching thing is a big one because they had, Carlos Narvaez, they had Augustin Ramirez, and they just shipped him out because they're banking on Austin Wells.
Because they like the power. They like the fact that he can hit balls 307 feet out to right field.
Yeah, I think a walk-off wild pitch.
No way.
I think that's what just happened.
I was not paying attention.
Oh, that's terrible. Dang. To get knocked out of the playoffs, dude. That's brutal. Or was it a straight steal? I don't know. I missed it.
And bases loaded, 2 outs.
Yeah, bases loaded, 2 outs. I missed what happened.
Yes, I wasn't watching. I'm trying to see if I can't catch what happened. Oh, it was a fielding error.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Kirkring threw it away trying to get him at home.
That's brutal. Oh, wow. Straight to the backstop. That's bad.
Wow. Okay. Yikes. That's pretty terrible.
Well,
and that's how your season ends, boys. Yikes.
Yeah, I mean that wraps up the Phillies postseason in a nutshell, right there.
Yep.
Really.
Yep. You managed 1 run in 11 innings. Offense again didn't show up, and then you can't make the basic plays. That is the Phillies.
Yeah.
Great pitching, no offense, sketchy defense.
Yeah, that's bad. Damn. Still a tough way to lose it though, instead of on a hit or legit.
Yeah, Dennis was saying it was a ground out to the pitcher and then a wild throw. Yeah, so it was a comebacker that he threw away.
Yeah, dang. But
undone by pitcher fielding practice.
Yeah.
Well, and the funny part of it is, and I love this, by about the halfway mark of spring training, the pitchers are all tired of PFP, and then you see these plays during the season, you go, guys, that's why you do it.
Yep.
Because you shouldn't blow a play like that.
Yeah.
Mike Reed's calling it now. Thompson getting canned. I mean, I
don't hate that take.
I don't know that he deserves it, but like I said before, I think he does get canned. I think Dombrowski's getting impatient.
Yeah.
But I mean, if this is how you showed up, which is that you didn't show up, then yeah, that's where things are going to end up.
Yeah. All right. So back to the Yankees for me.
Yeah. Catcher.
Augustin Ramirez, Carlos Narvaez, you moved on from, right? And both of them had really good seasons. Narvaez for the Red Sox, Ramirez for the Marlins. We were talking about.
Could you imagine that being your 1-2 punch at catcher?
No. I mean, I get that you want Austin Wells as a lefty in Yankee Stadium, and he hit 20 bombs. He started the year scorching hot, and then, as we see the wear and tear of legs on catchers, we lose that, right? And you see his offense kind of decline. But Anthony Volpe, they have to get the strikeouts under control. The strikeouts are insane. So if he can somehow find that, I think he'll be okay. Maybe they move on from him. But I think they just need an overhaul in the front office, and Boone needs to go at this point. He just does the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. I have talked to numerous Yankees fans that agree that Aaron Boone needs to go as well. They're tired of seeing the same old story from him. And I don't think the Yankees win. Will they get to the World Series? Sure, they could. I don't think they get to the World, or they don't win a World Series with Aaron Boone on the bench. I just don't think they do.
I'm with you. I've been there. I've been saying that for years. I don't think he can win you a World Series. I think he can cost you one, but I don't think there's anything he's going to do that's going to win you one. We saw the Yankees last year in the World Series, play bad defense, make bad decisions, and bad base running. You name it, they did everything wrong.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know where the Yankees go, if they go anywhere, to be honest, at this point. Um, are they just going to keep making the same signings? Are they going to bring in Pete Alonso next year, who is also, I mean, say what you want, but he's a 50 home run guy with strikeouts in his game.
Yep.
Like, is that another guy they bring in? I just feel like they structure their team the same way year after year, and it's not working. So they just, I don't know. It dominates in the regular season, but it's like in the NBA. You live and die by the three. You live and die by the 3-run homer.
Yeah. I mean, if that's your game, then yeah, that's, you have to live and die by it. And yeah, Thomas, we've said this so many times in the show that George would have run out of patience probably 3 years ago with this, and blown it up.
Yeah. Boone and Cashman should be shown the door. I agree. But what Cashman has is 33 winning seasons. Granted, not all of them are him, but during his tenure, the Yankees have never had a losing season. But
no,
they've also, to your point, haven't won either. I mean, they've got one title since 2009, and that's not Yankees legacy. This is their second, I think I saw it last night, second longest drought between World Series titles.
Second longest title drought in franchise history.
Yeah. So it's not great for them.
One championship in 25 years isn't going to cut it.
No.
And so Cashman took over as a GM back in 98, I believe, when they went on that run, which was a team built before him. He was the assistant GM leading up to that, so he was part of it. He was the assistant GM for years. Then he took over as the GM, and he's been in that spot ever since. So he's played a big role in that, in the dynasty of the late 90s. He's played a big role in all those winning seasons. However, from the time he's taken over and cycled that roster over, and it's really been totally his, they've won once. And it's year after year. It's injury guys. It is big contracts to underperformers. The Rodon deal, bad deal. The Stanton deal, bad deal. You can just line them all up and keep going. And I will say, in his defense, they made the decision to pivot away from Soto, and that worked out for them. Like, that ended up working out well for them, which everybody's kind of like, man, how do you replace Soto? Well, they did it. And losing Garrett Cole, again, that wasn't his fault, and that was a big piece that was missing. But again, this team in the postseason just can't seem to get it done.
I think Garrett Cole is the biggest piece of that Yankees puzzle, right? I mean, we said at the beginning of the year, we didn't even have them winning the division because of the Cole injury. Right. So I just listened back to our prediction show today just to see like how right or wrong. And we were pretty spot on. The AL East was a little weird because we had the Orioles a little higher than we thought, but
I think everybody did, though, in our defense.
Yeah, facts. But we said the Cole injury would prevent the Yankees from winning the division, and they didn't. We didn't have the Blue Jays near the top. We had them all. We all had them fourth, behind the Orioles, Red Sox, and Yankees. But so they kind of shocked us a little bit.
Well, and I think that was our bias of being burned the years before, when we picked them higher and they didn't play well.
Yep. But yeah, for me, it was Garrett Cole, and you put Garrett Cole in that rotation in one of those games or two of those games, we're looking at a different result possibly. However, let's switch gears and talk about the Blue Jays and their style of play, because this is a team that is built very similar to a team in the National League, and that's the Milwaukee Brewers. These guys put the ball in play and put pressure on the defense constantly. I mean, Yeah, you have Alejandro Kirk. He's not a huge power guy, although he does get into one every once in a while. But
He had what, two homer games in the last couple of weeks?
yeah, but he slaps the ball through the right side. You have Ernie Clement. Ernie Clement goes deep and then follows it up with a 4-for-5 game and then gets thrown at by Duvall. Like, I mean, Vlad Guerrero, 9 hits in the postseason already. You know, I mean, and they don't even have
Well,
Bo Bichette.
and can I pause you on the Vlad Guerrero thing? Because a lot of people have been critical of Vlad Guerrero this year because his power numbers were down. And it was all about, he got paid, he's not hitting for power, blah, blah, blah. But you look at what Vlad Guerrero did in this series, double to left, double to right, couple of home runs. He was all over the field hitting the ball with authority. And he's lost some weight. He's in better shape. He's a little faster. I mean, you see him come around to score from second in game 4 with like the Superman dive.
Full
He was
on
flying.
Pete Rose. Oh yeah, like
He was
full
flying.
on extension. That was insane.
But I think Vlad has changed his game to better adapt to, I think, baseball today, where you need to be higher contact with some speed, but also to better match the way that team plays, because he doesn't need to hit 40 home runs on that roster. He can hit 20 or 25, drive in a bunch of runs, hit a bunch of doubles, and be just fine. But that team, and that was the one thing we talked about going into the playoffs. Like, the one thing with the Blue Jays is like that lineup just keeps putting the ball in play, and they create pressure, and eventually the defense cracks. Like Jazz Chisholm, you hit enough balls on the ground, you hit enough balls in the air, stuff starts to fall in or squeak through, or and it's a totally different style of play. And you look at their stat lines and you kind of go, man, really nothing crazy there. But then you look at all the runs they score and the average with runners in scoring position, and they turn the field over fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I think you're going to see teams to start be ahead of the curve here and start like baseball starting to morph back in that direction, right? Because teams are so offensive minded that they don't really care. I'm putting that in quotes about how good or bad they are defensively. If this guy can put up runs, I'm not worried about his defense in the field. Now, if you have a high contact team that is putting pressure on these guys, you know, Rafael Devers at third base, let's say, he's gonna throw it away.
Third base?
Well, back in the day, maybe. He is a third baseman. Just ask him. But I'm just saying, you hit it to Rafael Devers, you hit it to him 10 times, he's throwing 3 of those balls away, or he's kicking one. And that's just him as an example.
Yeah.
Like, guys are not as defensive sound as they were when I was growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s. Yes, you do have some guys that still flash the leather around and are incredible defenders. I'm not saying that at all. But I think the overall I don't know what I'm trying to say. The overall picture of defense is down than what it was in the past.
So remember when batting average on balls in play was all the rage? That stat was all the rage, and it was Joe Madden's brainchild.
Yeah.
And we all thought, well, that's stupid. What's your batting average on balls you don't put in play? 0. Obviously, batting average, the balls in play matters. But Joe Madden's whole thing was, I'm just telling the guys, hey, when you put the ball in play, you hit 350. When you don't, you hit 0. And when you average that out, you hit 245.
Yeah.
Put the ball in play. Like, good things happen. And as much as people used to kind of mock Joe Madden for his obsession with batting average and balls in play, the point he was making was valid. When you hit the ball, you hit at a really high average versus all the times you strike out. So yeah, on balls in play, you're going to hit 325, 350. So how many more times can we put the ball in play to take that chance versus just take the K and walk back with a 0?
Yeah. I was always taught too, like, hitting the ball in the air, the fielders only have to do one thing. They just have to catch it. You hit the ball on the ground, fielder's got to catch it, fielder's got to throw it, first baseman's got to catch it. Right? 3 things can go wrong on a ball that's hit on the ground. Joseph, this is a great point. And this is exactly what we're talking about. Remembering back to 2015, the Royals, who struck out the fewest times at the plate, just put the ball in play. I mean, that team was also ultra fast too. I mean, 1 through 9, that team was pretty dang quick. But that just goes with what we're saying. Put the ball in play, things will happen. And this is also a good point, Mike. How much of the defense being down is an increase in exit velocity on balls coming at them? I mean, pitching velocity's up, the ball is coming at them faster. So I mean, it's a valid point.
Well, and we were on like a Thursday night back in September. I want to say it was like earlier in September, and I had the Padres game on, and there was a ball hit like 113 on the ground to Machado. One step to his left, he took the one step, it took a hop, it hit off his thigh and went flying into left field. I mean, it was hit at 113. When you watch the replay of that ball, he literally had an instant to react to it and could not move fast enough to do more than just like try to get out of the way. And there's a lot of truth to that. These guys are putting the ball in play with some serious force, and that is why you're seeing as many errors as you are.
Yeah, you got to charge the ball coming at you at 113. Don't let the ball play you.
And like this example, awesome. Machado literally was just trying to react. Like it was like a step and a flail of the glove. That's all he had time to do, because there was no opportunity to square your body, to move your feet. It was just a jab step and a kind of a wave of the glove.
Yeah, I mean, there is something to say about that, and I understand it, but I just think with everything, it all stems from the drop and drive, right? I want guys that drop and drive, hit it into the gap, hit me homers. And John said it back here, John Carter, the old adage of an out is an out, a strikeout's no different than a fly out or a ground out. Like, I think for me, that's such poor thinking. Like, put the ball in play and make the other team beat you. That's it. Yep. When you strike out, it's easy.
Yeah, and listen to guys like Will Clark and Chipper Jones. They've done interviews in the last year or so where they've just railed on the new style of play because there's so much about it that's wrong. The drop and drive, the exit velo, everybody cares more about, where it's going to land versus what they're going to accomplish with it. And here's two guys that were excellent hitters. They were like, I never cared what my exit velo was. I didn't care how hard I hit the ball. I cared about what I was trying to do with it.
Right.
A line up the middle to me was better than a fly ball to the warning track. And I think the old school mentality was, I'm not going to get beaten with a strikeout. Strikeouts are embarrassing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put the ball in play and take my chances. Because although they didn't have batting average on balls in play, they had the same mentality of knowing that I can't get a hit if I don't put it in play. So I'm going to shorten up my stroke with 2 strikes. I'm going to fight it off. I'm going to use the opposite field. Derek Jeter made a career out of fighting off tough pitches to right field.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it takes is just choke up, shorten the stroke, inside out, and dump it in right field. I mean, Luis Ariz, if he could take walks, he'd be a real monster. But that Tony Gwynn literally was like, he was just as happy to slap the ball between short and third and go to first because it was an easy, repeatable swing, and he wasn't going to get beaten with a strikeout.
Yeah. Well, and right, Joseph, even with a flyout, you have at least a possibility, right? It's not a big chance, but it's also not zero. You're completely right. Like, strikeouts literally do nothing. And I don't understand where that came in. Like, now listen, I do understand a strikeout does help in certain situations, right? You have Giancarlo Stanton up for, just as an instance, with runners on first and second and 1 out. What's the worst thing he can do?
Double play ball.
Put the ball in play and double it up. Where a strikeout doesn't hurt you, and then you have Aaron Judge coming up behind you, right? Or something of that nature. So,
but at the same time, if he puts the ball in play, maybe it takes a bad hop. Maybe it does find a hole. Maybe the throw to first is in the dugout. I mean,
right.
You got to take your chances. But yeah, I mean, ideally, if he hits a ground ball right at somebody, he's done. Dropped third strike.
Tongue firmly in cheek. Yeah, and granted, when Giancarlo Stanton also hits it on the ground, it goes at about 155 miles an hour when it's on the ground. So I mean, there's that too. But so maybe he was a bad example. But so there are some times where you're like, you know what, a strikeout.
I mean, look at the game tonight. The friggin' Dodgers walked off on a comebacker to the pitcher. I mean, you never know. You just never know.
Just put the ball in play. And honestly, I think that's why we could see. Now I'm all for it. I think I want a Blue Jays Brewers. I want to see two teams just absolutely slapping the ball around the ballpark. I still do want to see Mariners and Brewers. Don't bite my head off, Mariners fans. I still ultimately want to see that one. But imagine the series between the Blue Jays and the Brewers, the way they're playing right now, just kind of slapping the ball around. They can beat you with a long ball, but they're just all contact guys.
Yep.
If you see two teams get to the Fall Classic that are doing that, does that all of a sudden change the narrative for the other 28 teams?
I mean, I think you have to. I mean, I look a little bit at what the Red Sox have done, trying to get some of the swing and miss out of the lineup and bring in more contact. The Mariners tried to do that by moving on from Suarez and Teoscar, and it backfired because they lost all their power. And they were able to find a happy medium with Arozarena and Naylor, and bringing Suarez back. But it's not like you're going to eradicate strikeouts. Strikeouts are still going to happen. These pitchers are way too good, but you can't have a team built around guys to strike out 150 to 200 times each. And you look at some of these lineups, and that's what they have. You've got multiple guys that are K'ing 150 plus times, and there's nothing worse than having runners on base and watching strikeout to your two big hitters because they can't even put the ball in play. Like you're not giving your team a chance to score if you can't put the ball in play. And I think that teams are beginning to realize that it's hard to sit back and wait for the 3-run home run, and you might only get one home run. If there's nobody on base, you lose the game something to 1. It's hard to make that work.
Yeah, and honestly, obviously we watch a lot of baseball, right? We watch a ton. I don't think I can remember a year where I have seen bases loaded, no outs, and just strikeout, inning over, bases left loaded. Or, runners on second and third with no outs, and they can't even get the ball in play, right? Because like you said, they are dropping and trying to go for the 3-run homer, where all you got to do is make contact and, hit it to the second baseman. You got an RBI ground out. Like we don't see that type of stuff anymore. Like it's insane. But
no, but read one of these Blue Jays box scores. You're going to see a sac fly. You're going to see all sorts of stuff every single night because they get that stuff done.
Yeah.
And you got a guy like Vladdy who will give up an at bat to make sure he moves the guy because these guys get that concept of, complementary baseball. And just like the Brewers do, that's the Brewers scored 9 runs without hitting a home run. Granted 4 of those were gifted to them on errors, but still, you had guys on base. Right. You had guys on base. You put pressure on the defense. They booted a ball. The inning blew up on them. But you kept just stringing hits together. And that is exhausting to a defense. It's demoralizing to a defense. And eventually you put enough pressure on them, they're going to crack.
Yeah. Toppers, no worries, bud. Like it's all good. Like Harrison and I can get passionate about our team as well too, but it's all good, dude. Like this is a safe space for baseball fans. And it's all good. Like I appreciate the apology, but you're good, bud. All set here.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, we all joined the old men yell at clouds for this current rant. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But my wonder, if you will, is if the Blue Jays and Brewers end up getting there with this approach, if we see the other 28 teams kind of go to the drawing board and be like, should we start rethinking how we approach games here? Should we start bringing small ball back? I mean, look at how many times bunt coverages have been blown. Like people don't, I mean, half the time they probably don't even teach bunt coverages at spring training because it's like, hey, nobody sack bunts anymore. We don't have to cover this.
There might be some rookies that are coming up having never seen a bunt in their whole life.
Right. And that's what I mean. So like maybe having these teams go to the World Series would be the best thing for baseball as a whole. We're going to start seeing hit and runs. We're going to start seeing bunts, sacrifice bunt, getting people over with less than 2 outs to get them to third base. Then a ball hit to the right side, like all the small ball baseball that we're used to seeing. So I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll see.
You want to really drive a pitcher crazy? Just keep putting balls in play because things are going to you're going to foul balls off and work up the pitch count. You're going to have balls that squeak through. You're going to have a pitcher on the mound who's so pissed off because you're just nickel and diming him that he comes out of his game. The only way you're going to beat a Paul Skeens is to keep putting the ball in play. But if he keeps blowing you away, you're just playing right into what he wants you to do, which is, go down 0-2 because you're taking the first two pitches to try to get the perfect one. But if you just start putting balls in play, putting pressure on the defense, you're going to drive pitchers crazy, and you're going to drive their pitch count up.
Listen, they could have a 33-inch tennis racket; they're still not touching Paul Skeens. But I know what you're saying.
I mean, there are some teams that have had success against him by effectively just doing that. Like,
that's fair.
Hit, let it get deep, hit it to right,
or
hit it to the opposite field, and just do not try to do too much.
Well, also fair, Captain. On the flip side, nobody can bunt because they're not asked to. Right? When we were in high school, Harrison, what was the first thing you did when you got in the cage? Bunt down the third base line, bunt down the first base line, hit and run through the first and second base hole, then sack fly to drive them in, and then you got your 8 swings after that.
Yep, and that was the same routine it was between high school, AAU, college. It was all the same routine. It was bunt, hit and run, sack fly. The next 8 are yours. But it was 4 for the team, 8 for you.
Yep, absolutely. So, and again, we're not in the clubhouses, obviously, so we don't know what their routines are. Maybe they do work on that, but it's not something they take pride in anymore because bunts are almost completely out of the game. You have those stereotypical bunters that you think would be great at bunting, and they're trying to reach up over their head. They're reaching outside and they're popping it up. And it's like, this is brutal. Like, just sit there and catch the ball with a bat. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. And I remember in travel ball, our coach was a former major leaguer. And when we were up with guys on base, he would be on the third base box screaming, this at bats for the team, at bat for the team, at bat for the team, to get us out in the mindset of, okay, how do I get that guy in?
Yeah.
It wasn't about, can I just yank one out of the yard? It was, how do I get that guy in? Right. and trying to read situations and make the play. But it was always this at bats for the team. And I don't know what changes when you get to Major League Baseball, why that seems to go away with so many organizations. It just becomes a matter of, how far can I hit it? Money is 100% part of it. But at the same time, you've got teams that actually do that win.
Yeah.
So, and I think the Blue Jays and the Brewers are proving that the model is broken. We should get back to playing just basic situational fundamental baseball. It still works. And we've said that about the Guardians, the Brewers. These are teams that they don't beat themselves. They play good baseball, which is sometimes boring baseball, but it's really hard to lose a lot of games when you just play good baseball.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000% with you. All right. So I mentioned it a little bit ago.
Hang on. I can't ignore this one. Old Jake Taylor Bunsen, Willie Mays Hayes in '89. No excuses.
That's fair. That's
Absolutely. A legendary bunt and a legendary legging out by a catcher.
Yep. So I know I mentioned it a little bit earlier about, the Aaron Judge criticism that I got. So he finished batting over 500 for this postseason after Game 3, had the huge game-tying homer off the foul pole, and then Game 4 following that up with some incredible at-bats, doubles, RBIs there. Has Aaron Judge silenced the critics? And I put in parentheses, me. Has he put away the postseason ghosts with what he did?
For me, no. I mean, you need to see more of this. And here's where I go with this. So in the playoffs, Aaron Judge was 13 for 26 with a home run and 7 RBIs, 5 runs scored. Total playoffs. You take out that one game, and he was 10 for 22 with no home runs, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. So, in 6 other games, he managed 3 RBIs and 2 runs. Now, granted, those are not always on you. You guys need to be in front of you, but you can miss me with a bunch of meaningless singles being some sort of like resurrection of the fact that he's all of a sudden this playoff god. He's still not making an impact. I mean, he's basically Luis Ariz this playoff, minus one game. I mean,
Yeah.
I could care less about a whole series of singles that don't amount to anything. The Yankees won 3 games. He contributed to one of them. And that's how I look at it. So, yeah, did he hit 4? Did he hit 500? Yeah, he did. And he had one good game. And then a bunch of meaningless singles in games that they were already losing. So you can miss me with the batting average thing. I could care less with the batting average thing. He is a production guy. There was no production, minus one game.
And I think that was my overall point when I put out my initial post of him being a ghost in the postseason. Is he doesn't produce the same in the playoffs as he does in the regular season. Is hitting 444 production? Sure. Like you're getting on base. Is that production? Yeah. That's not Aaron Judge production. Aaron Judge production is 53 home runs, 149 RBIs. That is Aaron Judge production. Now, we finally saw, like you said, a glimpse of it in game 3. And I mean, I'm with everybody's comments on both sides of this here. So Judge still has to build a playoff legacy and win a ring to quiet people. The ring is a huge part in Yankees' legacy going forward. If Aaron Judge finishes his career in New York without a ring, even if he gets to the 600 home run mark, is he a top 4 Yankees legend?
Did you say with a ring or without a ring?
Without one.
Without a ring, no. And I said it last week. I think that Aaron Judge will be, without a ring, Aaron Judge is remembered as the guy that put up some crazy regular season stats, but couldn't get it done. Aaron Judge wins a ring or two, and he's probably on the Mount Rushmore of Yankees. Like he's competing for a spot on that.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference in New York. New York doesn't care about stats. They care about wins. You know, so in Aaron Judge's career, he's a 236 postseason hitter. Okay,
that's with the 500 this year because he was 217 before game 3.
That's with the 500 this year. His OBP is 70 points less than his regular season average, and his OPS is 300 points lower. I mean, Aaron Judge he's not there for batting average. He's there for production, home runs, RBIs, those big hits. You can miss me with a bunch of singles being important, making him some kind of a rock star. He didn't drive in runs. He didn't make an impact. Now here's the flip side. Shohei Ohtani this postseason is hitting 154. Shohei in the playoffs is terrible, average-wise. He's hitting 154, but he's got 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in the 4 hits that he does have. So production-wise, he's at the same spot as Judge, basically, with an average that is 154 versus 500. That, to me, is a difference between a guy who's producing in his at-bats versus the guy who's just getting a few hits that don't matter.
Yeah, that's fair. Bonds and Kershaw always disappeared in October until they didn't. He'll get through it.
Did Kershaw ever appear in October? I mean,
he has a pretty decent ERA overall, I think, in October actually, which is kind of crazy. But he was there a lot of years.
Yeah, because we looked. He was what? He's like his ERA is double in October what it is in the regular season of his career.
Yeah, actually, I might have misspoke. Let's see here.
And he made almost no impact on the World Series win last year, and I don't think he made much of an impact on the 2020 World Series either.
Yeah, so he's 463 overall in the postseason. So I was wrong. But I think he's just been there so often. He piled up strikeouts. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, he's pitched a lot of innings.
Yeah. Innings. He's got 196 and a third innings pitched in his career in the playoffs. That's a boatload. But yeah, ERA is not there. But yeah, I mean, he's above Don Mattingly without a ring. That's about it. I mean, listen, if he gets to 600, I think we're talking top 5, top 4, because 600 is such a ridiculous milestone. But with that little squirt gun he's got out there in right field right now, we don't know what's going on with his elbow. Is he going to have an off-season procedure? Is he going to be on the shelf for a little bit with that elbow next year? We don't know.
It was painful watching him try to make throws in from
It
the
was.
outfield. It was, I mean, I know you needed to use a DH spot for somebody else, but my Lord, like you could just run on him all you wanted.
And it's too bad because he has a cannon. He's got one of the best arms in the game when he's healthy. And to see him kind of wince as he's throwing the ball back in repeatedly was tough to watch.
And the other thing with Judge too is like you look at defensively too. He had that bad drop last year. The ball that went through his legs this year. He's had some pretty ugly defensive miscues too. Like something in the postseason with Judge just doesn't quite mix. Now, again, I said it last week. He can change the narrative by going on a run.
Mm-hmm.
They could make the postseason next year, and he could be a monster and carry them to a title. And all of a sudden, we're all going, "Hey, Aaron Judge is great." That narrative is very much just at this point in time. But when you look at what he's done to this point, he is not a clutch performer. He's a great regular season hitter that shrinks in the postseason, but he could change that.
For me, I think if he comes through in game 2 in Toronto with the bases loaded instead of chasing 3 balls out of the zone with the bases loaded, I think I already said that, whatever. I think he starts changing his narrative because then you possibly back it up with game 3. The Yankees are in a different situation because the tone completely changes if Aaron Judge gets one of his 12 singles in that moment. But he just pressed and he ends up chasing a fastball in off the plate that he fouls back. He chased a slider away and then ends the at-bat chasing a splitter down on the dirt. It's tough. Again, I ate my words game 3. I did.
Yeah, for one game, he was a monster. But like in that at bat, if he gets a base hit there and drives in 2 runs and trades 3 or 4 other meaningless singles, the perspective of him this offseason is completely different. But he didn't.
Right.
Yeah, and Mike, you're right. Kershaw in 20 was very good. Kershaw didn't pitch last year because he had the toe issue and he was on the IL, so he was no part of the 24 win. He was a big part of the 20 win.
Yeah. So now listen. Saying all that, was it game 1? I thought it was game 2. Either way, one of them. But yeah, it was a killer.
It was in Toronto. It was bad.
Yeah. Now listen. Saying all that, I would still love this guy on my team. Like I don't care what his postseason track record is. I still want him up in a big at bat.
I still think he's the best player in baseball. I'd take him over Shohei.
Hands down. I am taking this guy in every draft first overall pick. If I'm building a team, it's Aaron Judge. Hands down for me. It's tough to watch as a baseball fan, like not trying to be a Yankee hater here. As a baseball fan, it's tough to watch him get these 12 meaningless singles and everybody be like, oh, he's batting 444. Okay, cool. He's got his RBI. He's got his RBI on a random sac fly in game 1 of the wild card series. That was his only RBI until game 3. So, I mean, like, that's a tough one.
Show me where in the game he made a difference. You can't. All right, got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what I look at it as. He's there to be a difference maker, not a guy that just fills up the stat sheet with singles. And again, I'm a Red Sox fan, and I love nothing more than watching the New York Yankees struggle and watch their superstars fall apart in the playoffs. I love every bit of this. But as a baseball fan, it is frustrating to see a guy who's so good get to October and then just disappear. And I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, we look at moments from Bryce Harper. Yet this postseason wasn't a great example, but we have seen Bryce Harper in the past come up in big spots and absolutely deliver and blow the roof off Citizen Bank's ballpark, right? I mean, we've seen him do that time and time again, come up in big spots and deliver. We have not seen this out of him. Game 3 was the biggest moment of his postseason career.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the only flash we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple of moments, but otherwise, he's going to have another sub 200 batting average for this postseason, another early exit in the playoffs. And the sad part is we should be having the same conversation about Harper that we're having about Judge. The only problem is Harper's won one. He got that monkey off of his back. So
yeah. Now, I also get the flip side of that, right? Like, you are not going to pitch to Aaron Judge in the postseason. I get it, right? And maybe he does get pitchers to hit with runners on base. I mean, without runners on base, right? They're like, okay, he can hurt us with a solo shot here. No biggie. Let's just go right after him, right? So I get that aspect too. Maybe they do pitch to him differently in the postseason, and they probably do. But when you have bases loaded, when you got runners on first and second, you have nowhere to put this guy, and we're not able to cash in. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. And I said Bryce Harper won one. I forgot he left Washington after the 2018 season. He wasn't there when they won. I was like, wait a second. Nope, that's Soto that got his. That's why we don't talk about Soto. Harper still has to get his.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, goodness. Good question, Mike. For baseball, is it more frustrating to see Judge struggle in the playoffs or Trout not get to the playoffs? Oh, man.
I mean, for me, it's when the best player on the planet for all those years in Trout, who was destined to be on the Mount Rushmore of baseball, doesn't make the playoffs at all. He's got, is it one career postseason hit and it's a home run?
Yeah. And it was what? It was just 3 games, I think. I want to say 2013. I think it was
a wild card series. They got blown out. And yeah, Chad, you're right. It's I was off by a year on Harper. I forgot he had left in 18.
Yeah. Trying to look it up right now.
But here's a guy in Bryce Harper, to go back to that example, you're looking that up. Here's the guy 14 seasons into the league, huge contract, big expectations. He was going to be the guy, and his postseason track record is also terrible. But he doesn't shoulder the same level of expectation that Aaron Judge does.
Yeah. So Mike Trout, 2014 ALDS against the Royals. They were 3-0. They lost all 3 games. They got swept. He was 1 for 12 with a home run and RBI, 1 caught stealing, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, an .083 batting average.
Yeah, they got utterly destroyed in that series.
But yeah, first of all, not seeing Trout and Ohtani in the playoffs at all when you have 2 of the best players on the planet on the same team not even get there. Crazy. Yeah, well, I think that's definitely more frustrating.
Well, the hard part with the Angels too, and we talked about this a few weeks ago, is how little Shohei and Trout actually overlapped. They were together for a bunch of years, but Shohei missed a year with Tommy John. Trout missed a bunch of time. Shohei missed some other time. And then you had Rendon come to town, and the 3 of them were only on the field at the same time for a short window. And you had all that talent that couldn't get on the field.
Yeah, that's rough. You're one time making the playoffs, you get smoked by the Royals. Yeah, Mike Reed, I found it. It was 2014. I don't know why 2013 was popping in my head, but
yeah, because 14 was the year the Royals went to the World Series and lost. 15 is the year they won, right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, because that was the Giants year, right? 10, 12, 14.
That's right. The evens. Yep.
The evens.
Yeah. So the Royals went and lost, came back in 15 and won. But and they got utterly destroyed.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I think Mike Trout not getting there is way more frustrating as a baseball fan than watching Aaron Judge kind of, struggle-ish, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, Judge has played in a lot of playoff games, and at some point for these guys, when you played in so many playoff games, I feel like the nerves and must all sort of wear off at the point when you've been there so many times. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it's like to play in the MLB postseason.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I just don't wish to share it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. You should keep that private.
Yeah,
since nobody saw it, but you.
Yeah, I'm humble about it. Yeah.
I mean, I hit the game-winning home run in Game 7 of a lot of World Series, and then I woke up each time.
Did I tell you about a recurring dream I had when I was in college? All the time. So I had a dream.
Is this one where you were naked in front of the classroom? No,
No, not quite.
no,
No.
not that one.
So I had a recurring dream that I got called up to the Red Sox from our small little college at St. Joe's because they needed a third baseman for whatever reason. And this kept happening. Like every night I go to sleep, every single time I grounded out to second base. That was it. One at bat, ground out to second. They're like, thanks. You can go back to Standish, Maine now. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, that was totally a dream because if they're going to call St. Joe's for a third baseman, it would have been for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. You know how good I was, dude. Don't even.
I didn't realize you played until we started the podcast.
Right. I was like Brooks Robinson over there. You know it.
Yeah. I might have. The comment I was going to make about that was I can't say it.
About what?
About being a vacuum because you sucked.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Never mind. You don't have to go any further. Man.
All right. Anyways.
All right. Let's take a little MLB trivia break, and then we will come back.
Lots of games and home runs and turned off the Xbox.
Fair.
Yeah, I play an MLB every season.
Yep.
I just work up to the minors and make it to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. But all right, MLB trivia break. Harrison has got trivia for me this week. So Harrison filled in some Thursday trivia because I got a lot going on. So he stepped up and did trivia for 2 shows in a row. So thank you, Harrison.
Ooh, look at that.
And
Nick says I don't do anything around this place.
I've never said that, not once. Just don't check the Facebook comments.
Exactly. I just ignore those. But anyway, so we're just doing some straight trivia tonight, Nick. I got kind of a mixed bag of just like some general trivia, some playoff trivia. I just scoured the interwebs for some what I thought were some cool questions. So,
all right. Well, let's dive into it.
Let's do it. And chat, please help out because some of these I think are going to be, probably pretty easy. Some of these I think are going to be a challenge. So, wow, John. Jeez. Is this you getting me back for the boo comment a while back? Is that where we're going here? Because if that is, then I think we're even. That was a good one.
Oh, yeah, that takes care of one of his IOU shows. Thanks, guys. They got my back. They got it. Wow.
I guess I'll show myself out.
Yeah, that turned quickly, Harrison. Anyways,
that was brutal.
That escalated quickly.
That escalated really quickly. Anyways, let's get back to the trivia we were trying to get to before I got absolutely ambushed by chat. All right, MLB trivia for you, Nick. Just some straight trivia. Here we go. Who was the youngest player ever elected to the Hall of Fame?
I'm 100% sure it's this guy.
You are 100% right. It is that guy.
Yeah. Jackie Robinson's a good guess. It's not him. Yeah, it is Sandy Koufax. Nice job, guys. Mike Reed got it. Joseph Greer and Mike Reed literally got it on the same timestamp. So nice job, fellas.
Oh, wow. That is exactly the same timestamp. That is impressive.
Yeah. Roberto Clemente's not a bad guess either because he died young-ish. Yeah, Tommy, I'm really sorry, buddy. I know, bud. That was a heartbreaker even for us.
He panicked.
Pulling for your boys. He did bad. Yeah, I'm definitely lying when I say I didn't miss Harrison at all because it was tough going on 3-hour monologues, just hearing myself talk for a couple hours twice a week.
I don't know if I could listen to myself talk for that long without losing my mind. But anyways.
Yep, Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, Sandy Koufax. What blows me away is he was 36 when he got inducted. Like that is how young he left the game, though, to be only 36 and getting elected to the Hall of Fame.
I mean, his last season, was it his age 30 season? 31, right? Because it's 5 years you're eligible. So he was, age 30 season in 66. So, wow.
I mean, most guys, like your prime is like 29 to 32. He didn't even get all of his prime.
Yeah.
and still was
crazy.
that good. So absolutely
Disgusting.
wild.
Yeah. He's one of the guys that I wish I could get into a time machine and go back and watch and see like how filthy he was.
Oh yeah, I've scoured YouTube and stuff for video, and there's a decent amount of video out there, but it doesn't do it justice. Like, I wish I could have seen him live. It would have been incredible.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm with you on this one. I don't. If you're going to blame anybody, blame the bats. Blame your star players like Harper, Turner, and Schwarber, who minus one game didn't show up like at all. That's where
Yeah.
you need to look, because there's one run in 11 innings. Doesn't matter who you're playing, ain't going to get it done.
No.
And
Absolutely
you're asking the bullpen just to continue to come up big to save you.
Yeah.
But all right. So here we go, Nick. Which pitcher was the first to record 200 career saves and appear in 1,000 career games?
I should know this one. First
This
pitch
is
to 200.
This is a tricky one. Go back and say, show me the Koufax. Show me the Koufax.
It's black and white, so it's gotta be a White Sox.
It is.
Would it be like Thigpen?
No, that's a good guess, but he wasn't around that long. Chat's got it.
It's Hoyt Wilhelm, huh?
Joseph and John Cotta.
Nice.
It is Hoyt Wilhelm, the knuckleballer. Because you think about 1,000 appearances, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a appearances.
That's a decent amount of games.
Yep. Yeah. So he was the first guy. He was the first guy with 200 career saves, first guy to appear in 1,000 games, and the first full-time reliever or primary reliever to be elected to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I knew that. I knew that. Sorry, I got a lot going on in my head right now. So, but yeah, I did know that. I forgot he was the first primary reliever because I put that as a trivia question probably about 6 or 7 months ago. Like, who was the first primary reliever to make the Hall of Fame? Yeah, sorry.
Hoyt.
But yeah, good one.
All right. Yes, Hoyt Wilhelm. All right. Next one. There are 4 players in MLB history to win the World Series MVP twice. Who are they? Let's see how many of the 4 we can get. Yes, sir.
I got all 4?
You did.
Okay.
I thought one of those guys had actually won 3, but he didn't get the third one.
Yeah, Tommy. So the New York Mets logo it pays homage to the New York Giants that were there. So like it's part of it. They are related.
Yes.
So
and sure. Intentionally related.
Yeah, Koufax is 1. Joseph, nice job. Gibson,
Sandy Koufax 1, 2. Gibson 1, 2.
Reggie, yeah.
Reggie 1, 2. Can he sweep
3.
it?
I swept it in the private chat. Oh, he did.
And he pulls through and gets all 4 of them.
Nice, Joseph. Nice work.
So Corey Seager did it in 2020 and 2023. Reggie did it in 73 and 77. Gibson in 64 and 67. And then Koufax in 63 and 65.
Yeah. Tommy, this is the Greensboro Grasshoppers. It is the single A team of the Pittsburgh Pirates here, like 20 minutes from me. I got this hat when I got the Blue Jays hat because it was buy one, get one half off at Lids. So I was like, yep.
That hat is sick.
Yeah, this one's it's probably my new favorite.
Yeah.
This one's awesome. And this is the alternate. The other one's a green with the grasshopper kind of sitting out of the G like this.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll probably get that one at one point.
And of course you used our link to shop Lids.
I went in person because it wasn't online.
Oh.
But yeah, the deal wasn't online. But yeah.
Too bad. All right. Fair enough.
Yes, Joseph, go ahead and celebrate. Nice job with that.
Yeah, that's not an easy question.
Yeah, that is celebration.
Get all 4 of them.
Yeah. Brewers got second and third, 2 outs right now. And got Yelich to K.
Oof, that hurts.
Well, I think they still got one more batter, but all right.
All right. This is just I thought this was just kind of a fun one. Who was the first player to win back-to-back MVP awards in the National League? Yeah, that one backfired hard on me, huh, Chad?
Yeah, failed plug.
I tried to shamelessly plug it, and I can't even get my co-host to follow directions.
Well, you can find the lids link on the tops of all of our social media pages. If you too would like a hat, go ahead and click the link.
Nice.
Was that better?
Much better. Saved it. Maze is a good guess, not Maze. Campanella's a good guess, not Campanella. You're in the right era though.
No,
You'd be right for winning it in both leagues. Nope. Joe Morgan, Hornsby, Robinson, all great guests. All great guesses, but not them. Good guess, not him. Nope.
These are Dodgers colors.
These are, well, unfortunately, blue is like half the league. But I will say this was the only type of award this guy ever had a chance to win.
This is the only type of award.
This is the only thing this guy had a chance to win. Yes, sir. Oh, there it is.
Joseph. Yeah, Joseph got it. Just as I did. I think he was a hair in front of me because of Ernie Banks.
Yeah, he responded to he was reading the hint, I think, and then picked it up. But yeah, so Ernie Banks in 58 and 59 was the first NL repeat.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hint did it. Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad somebody got it. I mean, man, oh man.
Nice. Yeah, good one.
All right, where's John Temple? I mean, his phone might have died, so we might have lost him, but
we did.
All right. Who holds the record for most home runs in a single postseason with 10? Yes and yes.
Yeah, this one's kind of a layup because I was doing somewhat of this trivia earlier, but
yeah, I did this one more for chat.
Yeah, but this dude went on an absolute tear. And it wasn't with this team's colors. That could be another hint. And some people might not really remember it because they didn't really watch baseball much that year.
Yeah, 2020 was a tough one.
Yeah, not Sheffield. That's not
good guess, though. Guess. Sheffield had some pretty epic postseasons.
And epic good guess with the colors, too. It could have been Marlins colors, but...
Oh, yeah. Oh, so sorry, Dynaco Dad.
Yeah, that was even a tough one too. That Phillies one was.
Yeah, if they had just gone one or two more rounds of pitcher fielding practice in spring training, maybe they would have gotten it.
Brutal. Yep.
So there it is.
Yeah, it is a Rosarina for sure. Brandy went on that absolute tear with the Rays in 2020.
He was impossible to get out.
And you know who got to see it? All the teddy bears in the stands. That's right.
That was such a weird year. The cardboard cutouts and teddy bears, and I don't know. It's just such a weird year.
Dude, one of the funniest clips that came out of COVID baseball was, I think it was at Oakland Coliseum, and someone rips one down the line, and it's like, please, if you're squeamish, please turn away from the camera. And you see the teddy bear, the full-grown teddy bear, just gets smoked in the head. And you see his head just going. It's like so.
There were some incredibly classic but bizarre moments that came out of that season.
I mean, baseball going right through the heads of cutoff, like the cardboard cutouts that you could buy to put in the stands. Like, it's so good.
I mean, and it sounded like spring training games. You could hear the crack of the bat so clearly. There was no fan noise. It was just so weird.
Yeah, these are all great guesses.
Great guesses, yes.
Seager went on a tear. Joseph got it. Tampa, Randy O something. Close enough. We'll get autocorrect. Gotcha. Carlos Beltran, also not a bad one.
No.
Miguel Cabrera. Thinking Marlins, so Cabrera could have been a guess there, but
and Seager went on a tear in the 2020 World Series that Arozarena was also in. They're both going on a tear.
Yeah. So, Mike, it's funny that you're saying this because in Canva now, I am working on a story about the man who climbed the back of the Green Monster to get into the camera well up there. So, that one at Fenway was crazy.
Yeah, because he actually climbed up the wall, right?
Yeah, he climbed up the backside of the monster and got into the monster seats and then like into the camera well, like during the game.
It was so weird.
Yeah, it was. So
season ticket holders could donate to have their own head cut out in their own seat.
Yep.
That's
pretty awesome.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. Who are the only two switch hitters to reach 500 career home runs?
Got it. The second one was bugging me for a second.
You are correct.
Yeah. It was the second one where I was like, oh yeah, duh. Yes, sir.
There it
Carl
is.
Greenfield got it for sure. Because Chipper was like 490 something, I want to say.
Yeah, he was just short. He was high fours. I'm not sure if he's quite that high, but he's in the fours.
He was 468. So
I was gonna say 465. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just making a number up.
Yeah, everyone got it. Mantle Murray. Yeah, Mickey, Mantle, and IDK. That is Eddie Murray's actual nickname is IDK, so we'll give it to you. Mantle and Eddie Murray and Mantle. Yeah, nice job. Nice job, everyone. Got that one.
Well done, chat. All right. This one should be fun. Who is the only player to hit a walk-off inside the park grand slam?
I think two people did it.
Was the second one a grand slam?
Patrick Bailey hit 2 walk-off grand slams this year from each side of the plate, and the first one was an inside the park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you were going for Clemente for sure, right?
Yes, I was going for Clemente. Yes, honestly, the Patrick Bailey one, I do not remember.
Yeah, it happened this year. This year. Yeah, he had like 11 home runs on the season. 2 of them were walk-off grand slams. One of them was inside the park.
All right, so there's 2 then. So who's the first?
Yeah, we got it. Carl got it, Clemente, and then Joseph got it, Clemente, and then John Carter got it, Patrick Bailey. So yeah, we're all right. It's all good.
All good.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's a famous one, the Clemente one for sure. Yep. And it's easy because he's my favorite player of all time. So
yeah, I literally was searching for Roberto Clemente trivia questions to throw one in for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that one. So cool. Yeah, but for Patrick Bailey to hit 2 walk-off grand slams, one from the left side, one from the right side this year, one of them inside the park, the other one outside of the park, like, is insane. But did Max Fried do it too? No.
A walk-off inside the park grand slam?
I'm looking it up. Hit a walk-off hit. No. I can't really get anything in there. It's all him getting lit up by the Blue Jays right now. Google.
Even MLB still shows Clemente is the only guy to do it. They need to update.
We got our Hermar Marquez Max Fried controversy. That was back in Jeopardy.
Oh, that's right.
He came in as a pinch hitter or whatever. But
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That was a Jeopardy one.
A Fried reference was from Jeopardy. Everyone's got it.
Give it up to Patrick Bailey.
I got you. The Patrick Bailey. The Patrick Bailey and Clemente thing. I'm connecting the dots now. Like I said,
We
guys,
got you
sorry,
now.
I'm crazy tired. It's taking longer than usual to connect the dots. So, like, stick with me, please.
The processing already wasn't very fast, but it's definitely slowed down right now.
Oh, he did it on my birthday, but not 56. But
well, yeah, same.
Yeah,
the same date, but not quite the same era.
Yeah, not quite. I really wish I could have seen this guy play. I just wanted to see him throw. From everything I've read about him, from the videos I've watched,
oh yeah,
I would have loved to have seen this guy just unleash from that right cannon for sure.
Yeah, kind of like Justin mentioned on the show a little while back. Like I go down that YouTube rabbit hole sometimes trying to find old clips, and there's a decent amount of stuff out there, but it'll never do these guys justice as what it would look like live.
No, absolutely not.
But it's still incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Who was the first player to hit 4 home runs in a game in the 20th century, being the 1900s? There were 2 that did it in the 1800s, but there's inside the Parkers in there. So who was the first player to hit 4 home runs in a game in the 20th century?
I should know this one too.
Nathan, you were at the game? You're still at the game?
Oh, that's sick.
That's amazing.
That was cool. Must have been. We're there. That's crazy. Is it Gehrig? Did Gehrig do it?
It is Gehrig.
All right. For some reason, I wasn't thinking he got to 4, but
yeah, from the last one in the 1800s to Gehrig's, it was like a 37-year gap.
Crazy.
Yeah, so Lou Gehrig, June 3rd of 32.
Nice. Yeah, Carl got it. Dinoco Dad got it. Joseph got it. Hack Wilson, I guess. Nice. They're back at the hotel now. That's cool. Man, that's awesome though to be able to get there. Watch
cool.
a puncher. That's cool. Nice.
That place must have been so loud. Although I'm assuming the fans stayed for the 11th inning. I know it's asking a lot of LA fans, but
brutal. Man.
All right. Who was the first player to hit 50 home runs in both the American and National League?
Ooh.
This one took me a little bit, and it shouldn't have been that hard. Yeah, I can only imagine what that ballpark must have felt like every pitch that was thrown. Like, literally, you are one pitch away from that whole game changing.
Oh, it's definitely him, isn't it?
See what I mean?
Oh my god!
It's one of those that like it takes a minute. You're like, it shouldn't be this hard, but it is.
Oh my god!
Absolutely, McGuire.
I feel stupid.
Don't, because I sat there staring at this one for a few minutes, and I'm like, I feel like this should be obvious, and it was, but I assumed that it had happened before he did it.
Dinoco Dad, this is where I was going, like somewhere in that era, and I was just like, okay, Frank Robinson, and then I got stuck in that era, and I couldn't get out. But yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, the park is still kind of crazy. Almost 90 minutes to go 5 miles. That sounds about right for LA traffic.
Yikes. Brutal.
LA's highways are more like parking lots.
Yeah. I have yet to get to Dodger Stadium. Obviously, on my bucket list, I need to get to all 30, but I've heard the traffic can be an absolute nightmare.
So I went to LA once. I traveled out to LA once. I flew into LAX, flew out of LAX. You couldn't pay me to go back. It was
really.
It's unbelievable trying to get around out there.
Dang. Crazy. Yeah, the green gave it away.
And you fly into what you think are clouds, and you're actually coming through smog to get into Los Angeles. It's awful. You could not pay me to go back to LA.
All right. Good to know.
The green gave it away. I mean, I was hoping it would, because that one was harder than it should have been.
Yeah. I should have gotten that one.
All right, I feel like this is one that people are going to jump all over. So, who is the only player to win the World Series MVP while playing for the losing team?
It's Aaron Judge, and if you tell me it's not, you're wrong.
It's Babe Ruth. It should always be Babe Ruth.
It's always Babe Ruth.
Yeah, LA's awful to drive in. That might be the nicest thing anybody said about LA.
No, I honestly can't imagine this feeling. I can't. No, thanks.
No, that's awful. I mean, that feeling of disappointment has got to be brutal.
Bobby Richardson?
It is Bobby Richardson.
Nice job, Joseph.
So Bobby Richardson in that World Series hit 367 with 11 hits, 1 home run, 12 RBI. The 12 RBI is still a World Series record. It was tied by Freddie in 21, I believe, but that is still the World Series record. And we all know how the 1960 World Series ended.
Now that is postseason production.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
1 home run, 12 RBIs. He had 6 RBIs in a game. That's also a World Series record.
Dang.
But dude is a monster in the 1960 series, and a guy who played, I want to say he set the record. He played in 30 consecutive World Series games because the Yankees in that time frame were there literally every single season.
Yeah. That's crazy.
They were there every year.
Wow. 30 is insane.
Yeah.
Four and a half World Series, maybe even 5, depending on how many games.
Bananas.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, we know 1960 went 7 games, so that was at least 7 of them.
Right.
But yeah, that's 4 or 5 World Series. Dang. Actually, at minimum 5 straight World Series.
Wow.
Yeah. Joseph, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Go ahead, Harrison. Yeah. To be fair, everyone on the Yankees in that series scored, but they still lost. Yeah.
Brutal. What a brutal ending to have battled all that time, and one swing of the bat, it's all over.
It is the old cliche that a loss is a loss no matter how many runs are scored. Win by 1, win by 19.
Like, I mean, they outscored the Pirates by 1 billion and still lost the series.
Lost. Right, because a loss is a loss. That's it. But crazy.
Yeah, they won blowouts and lost close games.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, Bobby Richardson.
Nice.
World Series monster.
Yeah. Nice with those ones. All right. The floor is yours. If you want to talk about anything, bring anything up about the playoffs, what's going on, any, what you think is going to happen here. I mean, Brewers are down 3-0 right now.
And the Cubs are being aggressive, which I like. This is a team that has not been aggressive like this yet in the playoffs. Chad couldn't happen to a better team.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Cubs with the double steal right now. They got second and third, 1 out with Kyle Tucker on. 3 Phillies players were holding him up, leaving the field. Mr. O was obviously, my wife and I sent the Phillies field office wondering free stay at a resort in Hawaii.
Offering that's nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, we'll bring that up, Joseph. But yeah, this one's bad.
Yeah, I posted on our page earlier today when I saw the news break that Mike Greenwell passed after a battle with cancer. Was he a 2-time All-Star?
Yeah, I think something like that.
But I mean, I used to, as a kid growing up, I used to just watch that guy terrorize the Green Monster.
Yeah. You mean Mike Greenwall? I used to call him Mike Greenwall because he stood in front of the monster. But
I mean, that makes sense.
I was a kid too. Yeah. Yeah. Baseball expansion into North Carolina. We bring it up as much as possible because that's where I want it to go. And honestly, I think it makes the most sense TV market wise, what they have in place, the infrastructure for it. It just makes the most sense. Now, I know a lot of people are saying Nashville is the front runner. They just spent a ton of taxpayers' money to rebuild the Titan Stadium. I don't know if the taxpayers are going to go for a baseball stadium on top of that. They could. I don't know, but we will see. Nathan is calling for Roberts' head. Fire Roberts.
Whoa. Okay.
Nathan, are you a Dodgers fan, Phillies fan, baseball fan? Like which side are you on? So I can kind of gauge on why you're saying fire Roberts. Because Harrison and I have gone back and forth about Dave Roberts quite a bit. Because, like, early in his postseason career, it seemed like he was just, like, doing whatever the front office told him to do.
He was a puppet.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So, like, is that how you feel about him? Is that how you feel about him now? Do you think he has some feel for the game? I thought last World Series, last year against the Yankees, he actually showed that he had feel for what was going on in the game and his on-field decisions. What do you think about that?
You talking to me? You talking to Nathan?
Anybody,
Oh.
really?
No,
Anybody?
I think we've been over it. I think that Dave Roberts, for the first time in all the time I've watched him manage, last year finally showed he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He made the right moves. He kind of rode the right players. He stacked the bullpen and lined it up just, really, really effectively, just the way it needed to be. And I was screaming for him to be fired before that. And last year I kind of went, oh, okay. Like, Dave knows what he's doing. And then this year got off to a really kind of rough second half. I'm like, oh, maybe not. Like, maybe we are in trouble. But I think he's an okay manager. I don't think he's great.
On-field manager. Yeah. I think behind the scenes, he's incredible. He's
yes, players love him. He's great in the clubhouse. Like, I've seen all the clips in the clubhouse. He is like one of the most genuine, authentic human beings that you'll ever meet. And that's why I think the guys love him. But he's not I think he's an okay kind of tactical manager.
Yeah.
But when you've got a team full of Hall of Famers, how much managing do you have to do?
Facts. Dakota, I think I'm with you here. Brewers lose, series start. Yeah, fitting Dodgers for World Series rings. I can definitely see that for sure. Do you want to bring up the chat, Harrison?
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about rooting for two teams? For instance, grew up a Yankees fan, but I live much closer to Anaheim. I can get there way easier than New York, so I've started liking them. Thoughts? Well, funny you bring that up, Dynaco Dad. So I kind of got roasted last week for, kind of liking two teams. So, like, we're Red Sox fans, but I have the last 3 or 4 years, I've really followed the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, as they kind of sold at the deadline, I started switching my West Coast team to watching that Sacramento A's team of Oakland, of Las Vegas, because I loved how that lineup was put together. That lineup was a blast to watch hit. Those kids were fun. They were young. They play good defense too. Like, I think the A's are going to be a team of the future if they can somehow keep these kids together. And then when they get to Vegas, they get some pitching. I think the A's could be a force in the AL West if they're still in the AL West when they get to Vegas. So yeah, I have no issues with baseball fans liking numerous teams. I really don't. And I mean, if the Angels are right next to you and you have access to them, why wouldn't you like them? If you're going to 4 or 5, 6 ball games a year, you're just naturally going to start caring how they're doing, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. Born and raised Red Sox fan, love the Red Sox, but more than anything, I'm a baseball fan, and I probably watch more baseball from other teams than I even watch the Red Sox anymore, because I like to go where the games are, the matchups are, and I like being able to kind of roam and just watch what I want to watch.
Yeah. Love my Dodgers. Okay, so he's a Dodgers fan. It's $331 million payroll. I think Roberts is responsible for ruining pitchers' arms.
I think there's a lot of managers responsible for ruining arms. I mean,
fair.
I go back to the first instance when we saw Dusty Baker ruin Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor.
Yep.
With the Cubs. I mean, we've seen that trend, and I do think there's a comment going back a little ways. From Cap'n. I think Boo and Roberts and Cora are all the same manager. I totally agree. They are clubhouse guys because they were players. So they get how they want the clubhouse to run, but they're not great on-field tactical guys because none of them were like key players.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, this is a good point. I think you can have a second team you watch and follow, but only one true love. And that's fair. I mean, like, I love the Red Sox, and I hate to love them sometimes, and I love to hate them sometimes. But that's what being a sports fan is, right? It's that roller coaster all the time. Um, and I do love the Diamondbacks, but it's the Red Sox for me.
But
So like I can totally agree with that.
but
But
what I will say is that what you'll find with Nick and I is that yes, we're Red Sox fans, but we're not like the rose-colored pom-pom waving Red Sox fans. Like we will be critical of them. We will
yes,
we will call it what it is. And I would say at times, at least for me, like I'm really critical of them because I expect better, having seen what we've seen over the last 20 years. I expect better than what they've given us.
yeah. Yeah, and sometimes we're unfairly critical of them, but
Yeah, but we're Red Sox
it
fans.
is
Like that's
exactly.
we're supposed to.
Yep. I'm a Red Sox fan, but there are teams I don't mind seeing do well.
Mhm.
Marlins, born there, Cubs, Seattle's, or others. Yeah, but necessarily not a fan. Yeah, absolutely. Um,
Yeah,
Dodgers
yeah.
bullpen, they're absolutely not winning World Series. Toronto Blue Jays World Series winner. That's what Nathan's calling. I mean, I could see that, but
John Carter, 1 Twins, 2 everybody else, 30 the Yankees. I love it.
yeah, that's incredible.
This is all right, Corey. I got to ask. Rob Thompson sucks. I mean, I think there's people that agree with that. Bryce is gone though. Is there a world in which Bryce Harper gets moved out?
How much time does he got left on his contract?
He's got some time and some money.
I want to say at least 2030, right? Let's see. I mean, it was an extensive one. He's
Ray
yeah,
Charles
20
team.
2031, he is still owed 23.5 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money and years left on that contract for Bryce Harper. That I mean, someone could take it if they're desperate enough, but I don't know if you want to take that contract for first baseman.
No, it's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah. Will Verlander retire before he hits 300 wins? He might be running out of time. We talked about this a few weeks ago. I think the last week of the season, really, because
He's
Verlander had a
35 wins short. Is that where he stands now?
yes, he's somewhere around that. He had a dominating he had a dominating September, and only had what 3 wins on the season or something ridiculous like that. So it was almost a lost season for him.
Yeah, so Verlander this year was 4-11 with a 3.85 ERA. I mean,
yeah,
think of that. 4-11 with a 3.85.
Yeah, it's not terrible to not even get 5 wins. You didn't even get 5 wins.
Good God, with a sub 4 ERA.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think so too. I think he retires. 35 is a lot of wins. That's still on average 2.5 more years. If he can somehow get to a team that can get him 10 wins, I mean, and that's a fantastic point, Mike Reed. He won't make it through the lockout that's coming.
No, I think he knows next year is it because then he's gonna sit in 27.
Yeah. Ugh.
I want Freeman. I don't think Freeman's coming, Corey. I think Freeman's got a home in LA.
Yeah. Otani obviously showed he cannot hit left-handed pitching, 9 strikeouts. And I mean, Christopher Sanchez and Ranger Suarez, those are some tough lefties to try to get hits off, but yeah, not the best series from Otani for sure.
So and Otani was hitting a $154 coming in tonight in the postseason. He's not been good. He's got a couple of home runs and some RBI, so it's not a total loss, but his playoff track record is not good.
Yeah. All right, Harris, let's dive into the Phillies. Let's just full on dive into the Phillies. I'm with you, Chad. No Wheeler next year, right? I mean, who knows what that blood clot is? He's looking to retire in a couple of years anyways. Does he even come back?
Well, in reality with the lockout, Wheeler next year might be Wheeler's last year anyways.
Facts. So you have him, you have Castellanos. There's been rumors that you're trying to move on from Bohm. You got Schwarber free agent. Do the Phillies blow it up? And I mean TNT on the pitcher's mound, just boom.
I mean, like I said earlier, the Phillies are in the same spot as the Padres. You've got a few big contract commitments from players that have not quite brought you what you hoped, that you can't win with, and you've got to find a way to either blow it up and start over, and or find a way to pick the right pieces that complement what you already have. Dombrowski is not a blow it up and rebuild it guy. Dombrowski is a give me a bag of money and I'm going to go fix it. So
Yeah.
my gut says a team like the Padres, who doesn't have that kind of financial ability, is going to have to consider tearing it down. A team like the Phillies, who have a substantial pile of cash they can spend and aren't afraid to spend it, I think you're going to see some moves made. I think you're going to see guys like, Bohm is probably gone. Castellanos is probably gone. I don't know what they're going to do with Marsh. I think they're going to make some moves to kind of clear some payroll and then go and chase some bigger names. And I wouldn't be shocked if they pass on Schwarber to go fill other holes. I thought for sure like a month ago that Schwarber is going to be the guy. They're going to do everything they can to keep him. But watching that team play, I don't think he's the answer. I think you can't have all these guys with all the same skill set. You need to diversify. And I think that saving that money and going after somebody who fits better might be better.
Yeah. So we got Schwarber, Ranger Suarez as a free agent, Rio Muto, David Robertson, Max Kepler, Jordan Romano, all set to be like unrestricted free agents. Contract options: Harrison Bader, Alvarado, and they're saying they have some potential free agent targets here. So with JT Realmuto moving, and we know Sam Basayo from the Orioles kind of taking that starting spot, do the Phillies make a push for Adley Rutschman? I think they could. He's not a free agent. They would have to trade for him.
Right. But Adley, I think, will be their top target. And I think we talked about that maybe back in September. They were already rumored to be kicking the tires on Adley for an offseason trade.
Yep. Do we see a possibly Alec Bohm move? And if Alex Bregman opts out, do we see the Phillies go after Alex Bregman instead of paying Kyle Schwarber?
I think the Tigers are going to go hardest after Bregman. That's still a hole for them. They still need to find that kind of consistent, stout third baseman. I think that's a move for the Tigers to make. I don't know that Bregman fits into what they're trying to do in Philly, but maybe. I mean, if you can't get Rutschman and you can't pull off some of the other moves, maybe you'd look at a Bregman. But they need to find some ways to lengthen that lineup and build some more consistency into it. Their whole season, it was just boom or bust in that lineup.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, free agent class, other than that, and catchers, Realmuto's 35. You got Salvador Perez, the club option. After that, you don't have any catching talent that is a free agent. That has to be homegrown if you're looking to replace Realmuto. Otherwise than that, I think you just sign him for 1-year deals until you get somebody ready. I don't know. I don't know the status of the Phillies farm system. So yeah.
I don't know what they've got for pieces they can move, but they're in an interesting spot because I think Dave Dombrowski is going to dig in and try to just do more and build around this core. But I think to do that, you're going to have to let Schwarber walk and go a different direction.
It was an interesting free agent class. We got Alonso, who's already said he's opted out. Naylor, O'Hearn, Arise, Hoskins. He's got a mutual option. He might stay. And then that's his first baseman. You got Torres, Brandon Lau, Willie Castro, Jorge Polanco. He's got a player option, so he could go back in. That's kind of it for second baseman. Shortstop, you got Bo Bichette, Trevor Story if he opts out, Hassan Kim, and then we got Bregman if he opts out, Suarez. Max Muncy's got a club option, so it'll be interesting to see if they pick that up. I see him kind of doing a Justin Turner type tour towards the end of his career. Paul DeJong, Kike Hernandez, Yohan Moncada. That's your third baseman. Lourdes Gurriel can opt out. Ref Snyder, O'Neill, Andujar, Austin Hayes. Tommy Pham again could be on another MLB team next year. Crazy.
Might as well.
Yep. Then you got Bellinger's got a player option. He could go, although he might opt back in there. I don't see him moving really.
I don't think he'll make more money opting out.
No. Trent Grisham, free agent. Mullins, free agent. He's only 31. For some reason, I always think Cedric Mullins is older than that, but he's not. 31.
Because he's been around so long.
Yeah, Luis Robert with a club option. And then your right fielder, the big one, Kyle Tucker. You got Yastrzemski, who's already 35. That's crazy. Kepler, wow. Starling Marte. Jason Hayward's still out there. That's funny. Then you got Schwarber, Ozuna. Jock Peterson's probably not going to opt out of that Rangers contract because he was not great. Not great. So those are your position players that are, I would say, the big key free agents. And then the pitching, there's some arms to be had out there for sure.
Yeah. And there's like a dozen opt-outs that could completely change things too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But I'm just reading the unrestricted ones. We got Cease, Framber Valdez. If you want your catcher pegged straight to the chest and you want to sign him.
Catches everywhere saying, please don't sign him.
Yeah. Ranger Suarez, Martinez, Bassett, Gallen, Kelly, Littell, Patrick Corbin, Fetty, Verlander, Eflin, Hendricks, Mikolas. So it's not necessarily deep, but there's arms to fill out rotations there. Brandon Woodruff's got a mutual option. That's a kind of a intriguing one. And then Shane Bieber with a player option.
It's not deep and it's not good, but it's something.
Yep. So,
well, I think you saw Cease with San Diego, the way that season ended with where they started to fade him at the end of the year. They pulled him early in the playoffs. I think he made it two or three innings, and they yanked him in his only playoff start.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Padres were about done with Dylan Cease and the inconsistency from him. I saw a story end up a Dodger. The belief is Story's not going to opt out after basically missing 3 seasons with injuries. The belief is that the money won't be there for him. He had a great year, but it's one. But maybe there's more to it.
Yeah, Jock Peterson this year, like he had a pretty decent season with Arizona, but he platooned there. This year for Texas, he appeared in 96 games, only had 9 homers, 26 RBIs, and he hit 181. So not consistent enough for sure.
Cap and I appreciate this. Yeah, it's not deep and it's not good, but it's something. That's fair. That's what she said. It's the only comeback from that.
Can we normalize calling Dylan Cease Dylan Stop It or Dylan Desist? Man.
Oh my goodness. Now we're into dad jokes. It must be getting late.
Yeah, for sure. But so we got 3-0. Cubs still leading, bottom of the 6th here. But they got two runners on with no outs. So
they're just sitting on the lead, which they gotta get something going.
Yeah. All right.
Although I will say Boyd was very good.
Yeah, and they needed that. Obviously,
he got a rough break in game 1 when they blew up on him in the first inning.
Yeah. All right. Do you have anything else that you want to add before we cash it in for the night?
Chad, maybe Dylan deceased because his career in San Diego is over.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways, just one thing real quick. There was that I know the New York Post was all wound up about the I shouldn't say New York Post, it was many media outlets were wound up about the blatant sign stealing from the Mariners the other night when they were waving to each other, waving to the batter for the I want to say it was was it Naylor at second base who was using
I
obvious
didn't
hand
see that.
signals and waves to signal pitches to the guys that were up. And there was a lot of talk around kind of the media circles that, you know, there's no place in the game for that. And they don't like it. I'm just curious if you're at second base and we had a situation earlier where Matt Strom had his glove open and guys were picking up the pitches. Now we've got Josh Naylor peeking in doing the same thing and obviously waving signs to the batter. Why is that a problem?
It's not. That's baseball. That's in game picking up signs, picking up tendencies. Like a pitcher comes to the set here when he's throwing a fastball and then coming to here when he's throwing a curveball. If I notice that as a base runner, I'm relaying that to my hitter for sure.
Absolutely.
I am relaying that to my hitter. Just like catchers that used to hang signs. My coaches told me all the time. If we had a catcher that was hanging signs, it was my first name for a fastball, my number for an off-speed pitch. Like, you just did it. That's part of the game. Don't hang your signs and don't do it. Now, when you're getting into the technology part of it, like you're relaying it in from a camera to get it to a buzzer, if you will, or banging on a trash, like then we're talking, right? Because it's not player to player. You're not doing it in real time. Like, then that's an issue. But if I'm on second base and a good catcher doesn't set up his location until the last second, right? Pitcher starts his windup, then you see the catcher move to the outside corner or the inside corner, right? Bad catchers are already set up, and maybe that's what Naylor's giving is maybe not necessarily pitch type, but he's given location because he can see where the catcher's setting up already, right?
Yeah,
That's an option too. Or the shortstop's pitch comm's too freaking loud and he can hear what pitch is coming. I mean, there's so many different options out there right now.
Well, and the Phillies are mad. The Phillies are mad because they felt like the Dodgers were peeking into Matt Strom's glove. Well, if you're going to hold your glove open to the runner at second base so they can see your grip, too bad. And Naylor was waving over his head for stuff and side to side for stuff. Like he was all animated out there trying to signal what was coming because he could see what was going on. If you're not going to hide it, then I don't know what to tell you. Like if you're going to leave your glove open and show off your grip, if you're going to have your pitch comm too loud, if you're a catcher and you're going to try to relay something to the pitcher and everybody else sees it, that's your problem.
Yeah.
If you're gonna hang it out there, I mean, at second base, it was always a challenge to see if I could steal signs. Could I see what the catcher was signaling? I mean, that's like the game within the game.
Yeah. Yeah, sign stealing's been around since 1870s. Don't like it, change up your signals. Exactly. Or like you said, if you're setting up your glove like this, so you're getting your grip and you're seeing I'm got a fastball grip. Yeah, I'm relaying that to my guy. Like just turn your glove 90 degrees, get your grip, and no one can see it but you. It's crazy. And with all of these camera angles and being able to dissect every millisecond on an iPad in between innings, as a pitcher, I would want to know, okay, he's catching up on something I'm doing. I can immediately go back and get feedback and fix what he's picking up on. I can see it almost in real time, just 5 minutes later. Okay, what was Naylor picking up? Was I setting differently for each pitch? Was my glove open? Was my elbow in a different spot when I had a different grip? Like there's so many things that could happen that you can see on an iPad and see if it is something you're doing. So I don't have any problem with it.
I'm shocked we're still talking about sign stealing in 2025. I mean, this has been part of the game forever.
But it's not fair, Harrison. It's not fair.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not fair.
Everybody deserves a hug.
Exactly.
Yeah, 4-0 Cubs, second and third, 2 outs.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some game to be played here, but could we see a game 5 in this series? Because that would be legendary.
Yeah. Back in Milwaukee. Got a
Home
game
teams
5
won
tomorrow
every game.
night. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I might be up for. Yeah, as long as they're not using technology, I'm with you.
Yep.
For sure. Wait, they're hugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But John, no, I'm with you. As long as they aren't using technology, 1,000% I'm with you. Like if that guy is hanging curveball signs, like I'm telling my hitter right away. Like if I can peek in the pitcher's glove and he's got a fastball grip, I'm telling you.
Yep.
It is what it is. Fix it. If you don't like it, fix it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Agreed.
But, yeah. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else, sir?
That's it. Got at least one game 5 coming up, so
Yep.
should
And
be a good weekend.
absolutely. Keep your eyes out. I don't know what we're doing this weekend, but possibly a watch party on Patreon, depending on what happens here. Maybe tomorrow night, or if there's a game 5 on Saturday, could be around for that. So check out Patreon, Rounding Third Baseball. We will have a live stream going there, possibly, to watch one of these game 5s. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, watch the page. We'll let you know.
Yep, absolutely. So with that being said, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the game 5 tomorrow. Oh, off-season show schedule, John. You're not going to believe this. Sunday nights at 9 p.m., Thursday nights at 9 p.m. I know it's a little bit different, but that's Eastern Standard Time for you guys out there in the Central.
Make that note.
Yeah. So we'll be still twice a week. There might be a couple weeks where we just do one, but we'll let you know. But our off-season schedule is still the same. We're going to stay Sundays and Thursdays.
You thought you were going to get rid of us.
Yeah, not that easy. We got tons of stuff planned for the off-season. A lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to have a lot of guests lined up, hopefully. We're going to bring back Family Feud. Might do a short Jeopardy challenge week there. So plenty of baseball. Because, I mean, it really doesn't end. You have the postseason of the World Series, you have the awards, and then it's like, hey, guess what? Like Thanksgiving, winter meetings, free agency. It's all like just bang, bang, bang. So it really doesn't end. So we will be here.
And after all the time I had off, I'm ready to go. Let's keep going. Right, John?
Yep, for sure. But all right. We will be back on Sunday night at 9 p.m. If not before, on Patreon. Again, check out the page. We'll let you guys know. But enjoy the game 5 tomorrow, possibly the game 5 Saturday night, and we will meet up Sunday night to talk about it. And enjoy your weekends. Be safe. Make good choices, or don't. That's your call. Till then, we'll see you then.
See ya.